Plus, our contexts are different because of the kind of the way policies are made, the kind of policies that are in place, the way the countries are organized, the political atmosphere. All these are different. But at the bottom line, there is the one issue that the community wants water. And it's not only in my country, in all communities people want what? Water. So there are two things that we need to be able to understand. That at the end of the day, for us to be effective is to be able to understand how are we meeting this demand. It might in many cases be only implied, or in other cases it might be very active, but the bottom line is, are we able, the person wants water which is flowing, is water flowing? So for me to see how the rest are able to build this critical mass through using information sharing, both at all these other different levels, is very vital. Because I also now start to think, okay, what is my contribution in the whole process of making our people access water and have sanitation facilities.
Oui, oui, je pense qu'il y a beaucoup à apprendre des autres, hein, et c'est d'où la nécessité des rencontres de ce genre-là. Je pense que je l'ai déjà mentionné lors de l'atelier avec Abu, je dois apprendre comment collaborer avec les médias parce que je l'ai dit franchement, au niveau du Burkina, c'est quand même difficile avec le riche qui est là, qui travaille pour toutes les institutions du secteur, en réalité, qui ne collabore pas franchement ni avec le réseau de centres de ressources, ni avec le CREPA. Bon, bref, je pense qu'il y a beaucoup à apprendre avec Abu sur les stratégies ou les techniques qu'il a mises en place pour pouvoir intéresser ces médias-là. Je pense que je pourrais discuter aussi avec d'autres facilitateurs, d'autres coordonnateurs tels que Salomon et Rabin sur leur capacité à intéresser des acteurs influents de leur secteur sur le réseau de centres de ressources et peut-être aussi les techniques de mobilisation de ressources, pourquoi pas, parce que c'est le nerf de la guerre. Donc, il faut apprendre comment eux, ils arrivent à tendre vers l'indépendance, parce que c'est vraiment ce à quoi on rêve actuellement.
From Nepal, I think the idea of the resource center establishment in the various localities, more like decentralizing, the resource centers, probably getting facilitators at that level, and then supporting them with the content issue, probably helping them to not only to bring people together to engage, but probably to be disseminating information and so on. I think it's interesting, but it's for me, one would need to look into it to see how one can make that really, really useful to the learning processes. For Uganda, there's this peer communication, meeting they normally have, where communicators within the sector sit and engage to see what they're doing right, what they're not doing right. And for me, that would be very useful at our level as, the communicators within and facilitators within the sector. That would be very useful to implement and to be easy in Ghana because we can use the core group for that purpose. It's just changing the agenda a bit. So this could be steps that would be taken to move the process forward.
So it's interesting that the Ghana initiative, you have been organizing these kind of learning platforms on a very regular basis, and the sector stakeholders has already agreed to come to these learning platforms and then contribute through that process. So that's very interesting for me, and I have a kind of feeling that I have to do kind of similar thing in Nepal, so that all these players in the water sanitation and hygiene sector will come together and discuss and then bring about lots of experiences, sharing and exchange of experiences, and then producing kind of the good model for the water sector. So that's how I look at it.
From Nepal, they are doing regional resource centers. Now in Uganda, they might be not organized along a resource center, but I'm seeing they are trying to do something in a regional setup. So I now want to see, okay, if they are doing things related with the knowledge sharing and learning at a regional level, how do I support that process, that it continues to also facilitate me in achieving my objective as a learning and knowledge facilitator?